What up, guys? It's your boy, Bleach Face. I'm just screwing around. Sorry I couldn't help it. I just found this laying in the back, and I thought I'd throw it on for a little bit of fun. Just as a quick note at the beginning of this video, welcome Otaku Nation. But this was just a cheap mask I got from, shipped over from China. But as you can tell, right there during the shipping, the nose got busted right across there. There's another crack right there at the bottom of the eye, which I don't mind too much because it's not noticeable. But that nose crack is painful. I mean, it was only a couple dollars, so I guess I'll have to order a couple more, and hopefully this time it won't come over broken. But for a couple bucks, it's pretty good quality, and I like it. So anyways, without further ado, you likely clicked on this to follow me on a little convention story that we're going to talk about today. If you saw my last video, which was all about Anime North, this one's going to be a quick little bit about all the other conventions I attend on a semi-regular basis, because I seem to miss more and more lately as I get on my back older. So, without further ado, first off, let's just discuss that older part of things here. Now, I'm not sure how many of you are going to remember this, but this is the very first Mixzine compilation manga that came out. And what it was Sailor Moon and Magic Wraith, Parasite, and they put it out in, standard Japanese manga format with the colored pages. It was really wicked, and I loved this thing. And this is from, let's take a quick note here, 97. And yeah, so I bought that, and that was a good time. So let's just say I've been around for a while, so I've been going to all the conventions in Ontario, Canada, since day one. Anime North, FanExpo, Dtac, most of them, day one. And I'm just going to go through a couple of them really quickly here. FanExpo I've been going to since day one. I remember going way back in the day, and, taking pictures with an old, cheap, disposable roll, camera, and all that fun times. Now, unlike my Anime North video, this one, I'm missing a lot of books and badges and stuff. I have a few more of them, but they're buried, and they're all mixed in with all my other books and manga, and I wasn't really going to trudge through them and try and find too many of them. But I found a few. And this is 2004. For FanExpo, and back then it was called Cnanime. I think it was still called Cnanime at the time. Maybe it wasn't. I don't see FanExpo either. I'm not sure what it was called back in 2004, but it was Cnanime for the first few years before it ran into some sort of copyright issue with another convention, and then they changed it to FanExpo. So this was paper bound back then. It was just paper cover. Displayed all four: anime, sci-fi, comics, horror. And then we jumped to 2006, I believe. A lot nicer, all laminated, very nice black. I like, they included gaming now. So it was the 5 genres of what, FanExpo really incorporates, and I really like the 6th book. It's nice. Now, unfortunately, as a lot of you fans know that have been following FanExpo, it's slowly been going to heavy on the sci-fi and, American action movie stuff. And so as of 2008, you had your little sidebars up here with anime and stuff still, but a big picture of the Joker there. And then 2009, we got Spider-Man, again, still staying with that format with all the, with all the different things up there. And then as of 14, we took a bit of a jump there. Not sure where my last... I know I did miss a couple in there. But no more mention of anime or gaming or anything. It's all just American, stars. Patrick Stewart. And I think this was one of the last Stan Lee times he showed up. So, a lot of people were there to get his autograph. Bruce Campbell, Hulk Hogan. And... excuse me, Batman on the cover again. Now, the badges for FanExpo are a little more interesting. They're kind of sad, to be quite honest. I think the Anime North ones are currently still the best. I mean, here's 2001. I mean, that was the badge in 2001. It was just a piece of paper, you know, with a plug out on whatever day it was. I think I don't even know. It's not even plugged to anything. It's just plugged for some reason. I just went on the Saturday. It's a one day, and you know, I was going up with my uncle at the time, and we would just tool around in the dealer's room. I don't think we really watched too many videos at the time. Conventions back then were pretty much two things: a dealer's room and video rooms. I mean, there really wasn't anything else. There wasn't cosplay workshops or anything like that back then, or any of the other, you know, there was maybe a couple panels, but that was about it. And then we jumped to 2000 and I believe, what is it, 6 here? For the life of me, I can't see because I've been staring at that freaking light. So, 2003, sorry, it's very small. And it got a little nicer. I like this one. It's no laminate around it though, but 2003 wasn't too bad. Then we jump up to 2000, and why are the dates so impossible to see on this? 2004. Okay, so next year, 2004. It's a little tiny thing right there. So you can see it was still called Cnanime at this time. So yeah, the back here we're still called Cnanime. Apparently in 01 it just wasn't called anything, because it just didn't have a name yet, I guess. So Cnanime, still Cnanime in 2009. Or sorry, 5, upside down 9, I guess. And it was interesting because you could buy an anime pass at this time, which got you into a lot of the anime things. And I remember back then, if you didn't buy the deluxe pass or something, you couldn't go see the masquerade. It was so ridiculous. And the anime pass got you into anime-related things. It was all a huge, you know, big assortment of nonsense, and it was really confusing a lot to know what the hell you could get into back in the day if you wanted to go see multiple things. And then in 2006, still Cnanime. This is an anime pass again. The nightmare continued. And then, as you can tell, it was FanExpo at 2007. So in 2007, they changed the name. FanExpo, you had to get a deluxe pass, which on the back allows access to all events, because you could get a basic pass. It didn't let you into anything other than the dealer's room, I think. It was just stupid. I really just liked the way things went. And then in 08 here, which apparently I don't have any others after 08. I know I've been there, so I don't know where those badges are. But there was a star here, I think, because I was on staff for a couple years here. If you know, I'm sure none of you remember, but you know, I used to run the mini masquerade. Excuse me, because back in the day, FanExpo was pretty big, and there was a cap of like 100 contestants for the masquerade. So you'd have a solid 50 people that wouldn't be able to go into the show. So I started up like a guerrilla masquerade. It was called the Mini Mask. I did the same thing at Anime North there for a year or two, and what it pretty much was I had people compete just in a little masquerade by myself, you know, myself and my team in the middle of the hallway. Pretty much, we'd just rope off an area, and I'd hold a little mini masquerade right in the middle of the convention center. I used to do my own awards. I used to hand, you know, I'd hand them out. We'd judge. And then I became staff for it, and then, you know, that ran for about another 3 years. And then the masquerade started to teeter off. You know, not too many people were interested in going into it as much, and so really there wasn't really that need for it anymore. So I just stopped doing it altogether, because, you know, it would fill the 100, and that would be about it. So FanExpo still goes on. It's huge. You know, 50,000 people. I didn't go this year again. It's expensive, and the parking's horrendous, and it's just tight in there. You're crammed in there like a sardine. And when I take my son, I mean, I don't like that type of environment. I prefer the Anime North style, where at least you can spend a lot of time outside. It's not as bad. So anyways, and then next up we have FanExpo's spin-off conventions, which was Mtac and Dtac, which was their pretty much way to make more money. March convention and December convention, which is Mtac and Dtac. I don't know. For some reason, these are all March convention passes. I guess Dtac never had any because it was just a one-day, where March Mtac was a 2-day. So You know, so I got all these. I like these. They followed a general standard. So this was from 2000 and no 2006, I believe. I don't know why the date has to be so small on these things. This one was 2008, and this one was 2009. I stopped going to the Mtac and Dtacs quite a while ago because the last one I went to about 5 years ago or so was so poorly organized. They had you roped into one corner. You weren't allowed to leave. You couldn't do photos. It was just an absolute nightmare. And I stopped going because of it. And I liked Mtac because they used to do, what was it called? They used to do, the little masquerade that they had was done in American Idol style. It was, you know, Masquerade Idol or something they called it. And I used to go in every year with usually a group of people I'd pick up in the hallway. And we'd just do random stupid skits, and it was hilarious. And I have most of those on film. So once, again, when I figure out how to do all this and get all my old convention footage on here and edit it together, I'll make a nice video about that. Because I really liked the old Mtac Dtac. It was pretty much just going to mess around, talk to people. Used to take the old DS, play Mario Kart. Everyone would hook up in Mario Kart and, you know, just play in the dealer's room, get some good deals. Because there was good deals at these cons because they were smaller and there just wasn't as many people. So they had to lower their prices, which was nice. All right, so that was the FanExpo side. Now we'll talk about one con really quickly here. This was their little brochure here. Con Nobaka. This ran one time. Yeah, stupid con or whatever, con of idiots is true. That was one of those conventions that ended up shutting down halfway through. Just really poor attendance, poor everything. It was just a cluster mess up. Everything, you know, things weren't running on time. People didn't know where anything was. There just wasn't that many people there to begin with. And, but halfway through the day, they shut the whole thing down because the hotel had enough of everything. And that was the end of that convention. And better or less known the better. So now let's talk about the Oshawa convention, Oshawa, Ontario. Northern Anime Fest. It doesn't run anymore, unfortunately. I don't understand why this was never bigger. NAF was always really small. There was only ever a couple hundred people at this convention, and I don't know why. Like, Oshawa is only like half an hour from Toronto. So, Toronto Con's, you know, 20,000 people. Oshawa Con, like 200. Like, so anyways, these are the couple of the books I have from it. 2007 and God knows what year this is, as it's not on it. I really like the artwork on these. They're nice lamination. They're really nice. And then I have a lot of the NAF badges, though. It ran for quite a few years. 2005 here might have been the first one. You know, and they always had the laminates, which was nice. But I was on staff pretty much from the second year, I think. So I helped out with all kinds of nonsense. I ran like a little game room once, and I don't know. I don't really remember what the hell I did for a couple years there, but Northern MA staff, 2006, I think that says. And they always had these string things, which I really like, because at least the pin, yeah, well, I guess the pin pins you, but then the string that flops around in the wind. So I don't know. Anyways, this is 2007. Apparently these got wet because they're all crinkly. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I really enjoyed the different artwork every year too. I think they had a different fan draw the badges, which was really wicked. 2008, I have the volunteer one and a guest one. I think I picked that one up just to have it because it was different artwork and I really wanted it. And then 2010, I'm not sure where my 09 one went. I know I never missed a year of NAF. At least I'm pretty sure I didn't. And then probably 2010 was probably the last one. I know it continued for another year or two as something different. It wasn't called NAF. It was called something else. But I don't know. The whole group of, you know, the people that were running it kind of broke up. And I kind of forgot about it. And then I don't think it exists in any form now. I really like that con for one reason. It was small. And I remember one year they had one of the voice actresses from Sakura Wars there. And in her panel, there was like 6 people there. And it was pretty much a one-on-one. I could pretty much just ask her anything I wanted to. It was amazing. And then I remember they had another year, possibly even that one. It was a good year. They had a Japanese pianist, I believe, from Japan. And at the dance, again, there's only like 30 people at the dance, and you could dance with her because it was small, and everyone was just friendly and chummy, and you had to make the best of it. So it was, hey, what the hell's going on, everybody? And and the cosplayers were really select. So if you were in costume, pretty much everybody at the con would take your picture because there wasn't many cosplays to go around. Dealer's room wasn't bad, but I always found it to be kind of on the steep side of things, which, I guess there wasn't that many attendees, so maybe they had to price higher. I don't know. But I don't remember buying too much there any years. The game room was always nice. They always had like a Super Nintendo or DDR hooked up. And it was done at the college, and I always liked it there. It was just a really nice location. And I don't know why nobody ever freaking went to this thing. And then people would go one year, and they'd be like, oh, it's so small, and then they wouldn't go the next year. And it's like, well, how can it grow if all you bastards stop going? So anyways, that's Northern Anime Fest. Con no Baka, Mtac Dtac, and FanExpo wrapped up in one. 5 conventions. Atomic Lollipop I'll mention here really quick. It's been running for a couple years. I don't think it ran last year. I never went to it. I always wanted to because I really like the idea of a fair convention with like rides and stuff and games. I always thought that was really cool, and I always wanted to go to it, but I never did. There's others like Dragon Con and things like that too, but I'm really only interested in the anime gaming side of things, and I mean video game side, not tabletop gaming. So I didn't really bother going to it either. Plus, 6 conventions a year is already too many for me. I mean, I know people, that go to 10, 20, they go all over the world, but I mean, that's just too much action for me. I'm not that rich. And either way, that's about it. If you have any questions about any of the conventions or anything, how they're run, things like that. I mean, I sat on the board of pretty much all of these from time to time, and I've been around. So leave a like if you like any of these Ontario, Canada conventions, because I know I do. And let's get out there, keep supporting them, and just have fun, to be quite honest. That's what it's all about. So leave a comment below if you want to ask me questions, and hey, maybe we'll see each other one day at a convention and get a selfie together. So talk to you next time. Peace.